He said, "Dear Burt, I understand intellectually that it's necessary for the belief system in a separate self-existence to drop away, for awakening to arise. I understand all that," he said. "On the other hand, the thing that seems to cling the strongest, or manifests as the most personal, is the fear of letting go, or the fear of psychological death. Can you explain this a little bit?" Before I go into that, can anyone give me a hint why there is this fear of letting go? And there is a fear of letting go. We think we're going to lose something, right? We're going to lose the me. As if I lose the me, I'm not going to be me anymore. You've never been a me anyway. There's never been a you as you think. You see? So we think, oh, I'm going to be nothing, as if you were something. You are life in manifestation only. Yeah.
I think maybe there's also a certain fascination with the movement. With
the fascination of the movement, because it's all we know. The movement that makes you. You see?
An addiction maybe to that?
An addiction. Well, we become very... See, we are stuck to the familiar. Everything that is familiar we cling to. And we equate the eternal as the unknown. And we make the unknown something frightening. Because I'm going to plunge into an unknown and I don't know what's going to happen, but nothing ever happens. Because you are. When I say you are, I don't mean the individual ego, but that which is. You see? Right now you're looking, you're listening. Okay? And I repeat this often, but I'd like you to feel it. And who is listening? Now, if you're listening with your mind, you've gone back to the personal being that you think you are. And that separates you from everything else. That's what creates all the problems and all the fears. But if right now you're really listening, so that your heart is saying, yeah, even though I don't understand it with my mind, I resonate. I resonate with this. I can feel that this is true. Now that part in you, that is not the totality acting through you. The one who is looking now, each one of you is looking, the one who is looking is empty. But it's looking at objects which are created by thought, by the mind. But the one who is looking is empty. And if you don't believe me, ask yourself, where is this me that I protect and defend all the time? Where is it? See? So this fear of letting go has come about through the process of time, consciousness. See? Wonder what's going to happen to me, future. Oh, but I am not smart enough to understand this, past. So there is this link, you see? And because of that, there is this fear of letting go. Also, we identify with what we think. I'm going to do something here. A little confrontation. I'm going to pick one of you, and I'm going to ask you to be as honest as you can. Okay, and tell me. I'll pick Liz. Close your eyes, Liz, for a moment. Now tell me what is going on in your body as I talk to you. Tell me on exactly what you're feeling.
Kind of heavy.
Heavy, okay. Tell me something more. Are you nervous now that I pointed you out?
A little bit, but not too bad.
Okay, good, good.
I feel warm. Not pleasantly warm.
In other words, yeah, you feel when you are pointed out, when there is some sort of consciousness, you automatically feel hot. That's why sometimes our ears become hot Okay? Now, this is going to be very interesting. Now, what happens? Why do we feel hot? Why do we feel these sensations? Because the thoughts, who we think we are, create this energy within the body, and the body reacts, because the body never lies. But now, what if I were to say to Liz that the sensations she's feeling are not hers? They are a memory. What if I tell her that whatever she's thinking now are just thoughts, and it's not hers, it's just a happening? What if I were to say that no matter what emotions go through her, it's not her at all. She just made them hers. They're just happening. Okay, open your eyes. Thank you very much for participating. Okay, now, you see, when we make something individual like this, you begin to understand something very powerful. And remember, we're dealing with what is real and lasting. Always remember that. Anything that doesn't last, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi often said, anything that comes and goes that doesn't last is not real. It's a movement. Movement is not reality. Movement is what makes the world. Movement is what makes you capable of surviving. Why do we need to survive? To recognize who we are. If you were to study the brain, you'll find that the brain is the perfect tool for us. Memory, recollection, retention, for us to recognize and to recognize who we are. Everything is made for that purpose, and yet there is no purpose. Just like the fetus, we've discussed this before. The fetus in the pregnant woman becomes a living human being who later on thinks he's making his way into the world. He's deciding this, deciding that. Very separate individual. And yet he was nothing but a fetus that became a living human being. Who produced that? Who made that? What intelligence created such a miracle? See? Nothing and no one. Is the process of is. Just like Course in Miracles says, God is. That's the eternal. The eternal is. There's never a time when you were born. There's never a time when you will die. The body is recycled all the time, but the body is not as real as we think. It is scientifically proven. Electron microscope, if it magnifies your body a few thousand times, it disappears. You can't see it. But to our eyes, it's densified electromagnetic energy that appears real and tangible. Our senses are all in consciousness. The body is a tool to employ these senses. Consciousness is one. There's only consciousness. And when we understand the eternal, we understand oneness, and at that moment we are that one. Now, everything that needed to be understood is understood. Every so-called problem becomes a solution in itself. And everything that you might think is adverse happening in life becomes an invitation to further seeing, to greater deepening. So nothing is bad or good, right or wrong. There are no shoulds. There's only that. You see? And that, of course, is the highest. Now, this is the treasure that you don't hear very often, because most of the time we are hearing about other things, metaphysics, the lower mode of spirituality, which we call spirituality. But that's what people are interested in, fascinated in. You see? That, again, I repeat, they are valid as long as you think you are a human being. You see? But when you begin to realize you are a divine being, you get that glimpse, then of course you begin to see what you never saw before.